Introduce yourself and what it is that you do.
Yeah, my name is Rose Chongondu, CEO and founder of Makeup by Rose Limited. I run a makeup company. We provide makeup services, makeup training, we sell products, and I'm also a mentor.
And also a mentor. Yes. Are you also a mentee to someone?
Yes, many years ago.
Many years ago.
Yes.
All right, we'll get into the details of that. Awesome. Lilian?
My name is Lilian Njogu. I'm the founder and owner of Lily's Pajama Loft. It's a clothing brand that we mainly specialize on sleepwear. I wouldn't say I'm a mentor, but I think I'm a mentee.
You're a mentee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So my name's Dr. Catherine Masitsa. I'm CEO and founder of Samantha's Bridal.
Yes.
So at Samantha's Bridal, we help people navigate and truly enjoy life's greatest moments. And while we are at it, we help event entrepreneurs, hospitality, and retailers leverage the 100 billion wedding industry. And we mentor people who want to get into the events and wedding industry. And I mentor a lot of young people.
Wow, 100 billion, valued at 100 billion. Is that globally or on the continent?
This is Kenya.
Oh wow!
So 100 billion Kenyan shillings.
Yes.
Okay, that's our bridal value of the industry.
Yes.
Okay, but Lilian, you called yourself. You said you're not a mentor but more of a mentee. With your success, someone outside there could be looking at you and saying they would consider you a mentor.
Well, I don't think I'm that experienced yet, but I would say I have people that come to me with DMs asking about what I do and how I got myself here.
Yes.
But I wouldn't really call myself a mentor.
Okay.
I'm not that experienced as of yet. I mean, I don't really look myself as that.
Rose, what does mentorship look like? Because I realized you mentioned that you were mentee at some point.
Yes.
It means it ends. You're not mentored throughout. What does mentorship exactly look like?
Mentorship, being a mentor or being a mentee is you have to work with someone or to look for someone who's been in the same industry or career that you want to get into. You understand? So as a mentor, I've been through stuff. I've been a makeup artist for 12 years. This is my 13th year. So people that I mentor come to me that want to be a makeup artist. So number one, you have to teach them like, how is the industry? What are the ups and downs? Some of them are actually into the business, maybe being a makeup artist for like 3 years, have ups and downs. They don't know how to get up. You understand?
What people may not know about Rose, Trevor, is Rose's background story, which is so inspiring. I want for us to contextualize that so people understand what it is when Rose is saying she's been a makeup artist for 13 years. Rose, you were never a makeup artist.
Yeah, let me tell you, like the beauty industry is so big, so huge, so scary. And then just getting people to know you, to know your name is the hardest thing in the world.
Where did you start from? What were you doing before this?
I have sold onions and tomatoes in Korogosho. I have sold in Mtindwa. I have sold popcorn on the roadside. I remember the hardest part was running away from the city council. All this time I was trying to fund my makeup business because it's not easy, like even having a makeup kit and stuff like that. So for me, the first 3 years of my career were the hardest.
The first three?
The first 3 years were the hardest, toughest. Because number one, if people don't know who you are, they are not going to buy whatever you're selling. So you have to actually have a name in the industry for you to make money and for people to look for you. Because as a makeup artist or as someone in the beauty industry, the way it starts, you look for the client. And then later, once you establish, the client looks for you. So for you to get from that point to the other point, it takes a lot of work, a lot of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Catherine, how does mentorship look like for you?
For me, two ways.
Yeah.
There is the formal mentorship. You come, you sit in class, or there's that. And then there is where there's the biographical mentorship. What I have personally, the people who have mentored me, I have a lot of biographical mentors. In the sense that maybe you're going through an issue in business or career-wise, and you look like, how would this person handle this? And maybe you read their book and they went through the same thing and you know how to handle it. And then there are those people who just mirror you, who shadow you. Like I like what Catherine does, and they occasionally you sit together for a cup of tea or coffee, it's not formal, and you talk about what they are going through. Like it's not even organized. And a lot of people say I mentor them. Just after we sit and have lunch, and they say, wow, I've been mentored.
Yeah. Who mentors Dr. Catherine?
For me, you have to understand, well, I was alive in 1987 when you were talking about the market crash.
Yes.
So you have to understand the way the market was. In Kenya, let's just say in business, not many people were writing books. A couple of people write books. Many people, it was an idea that was very foreign. So there were, personally, I couldn't get even a business mentor. And as a matter of fact, I even started a publication for women in business. Just if I was going through an issue, I would research on it, write about it in that publication. And I would get a lot of women calling me like, you look like you just came into my company. And because you're just talking about what I'm going through. But the issue is I was going through all those same things and I was looking for answers. So mentorship for me has been that I have read a lot of foreign books, yeah? For example, I mean, some people will even stone me. If I say Donald Trump, for example, as a business person, I read a lot of his business books. And there were times I woke up because he woke up. When he went through, I mean, he inherited $254 million from his father.
From his father and mother, yes.
Yes. But he went through the same things a business person would go through. So when I read some of his books, of course, in addition to other people who've written books, I would wake up and just go and do it, and I'm still in business because of that. Yes.
So it doesn't have to be a physical person.
It doesn't have to be a physical person.
You can just read certain books.
Yes.
Okay.
That is biographical mentorship. And then there's the formal one where someone can come and actually shadow you. Yeah. So mentorship can take all forms of
directions. Yeah.
Yes.
Lilian, what do you know now that you wish you'd have known back then? Because that is essentially the basis of mentorship. Passing on the knowledge that you have so that people don't go through the same obstacles that you went through.
That success doesn't really come overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, I started my business, I think 2.5 years ago. And I remember when I started, about 2 months in, I almost gave up, to be honest. And then I went to someone who's my big sister, and I was telling her about this and that. And she actually gave me an example of the founder of Fashion Nova. Yeah. Apparently, she started her line of online and then went to the ground basis, like where you start your online marketing, and then all of a sudden you have your stores. And now it's worldwide.
Oh, wow.
Lilian, I think I'm on Lilian's case because Lilian said that she doesn't think that she is a mentor. Lilian, you said for you, you're more of a mentee and not a mentor, but someone could be watching and listening and they look up to you and they're saying, I want to get to where Lilian is. Yeah. And for me, Lilian is a potential mentor. Because you're talking about experience. There's no certification or there's no school that requires for you to go to school and sit for you to become a mentor.
Oh, well. I think being a mentor is a lot of work. And as of now, I don't think I have that much experience because it's been, I think, 2.5 years since I started the line. And I don't think I have that much experience, to be honest.
Rose, what does a mentee and mentor relationship, a healthy mentor and mentee relationship look like? So it's not one person just giving and the other one just taking.
So you see, like in my case, so I run a makeup school.
Yes.
I actually run the first makeup school in Kenya. And every month we train more than 120 students. Now most of this, number one, you can train someone to do makeup, but it's very hard to train someone to actually do it as a business. You understand? So like at times I get my students, even after the training, they actually want me to work with them in their business. And then at times you get people that have not been trained by me that have actually been doing makeup, the hardships. They come to you and then they want you, they're like, Rose, I've failed 3 times, what am I doing? And then you have to check their social media and stuff like that, just work with them. At times it's hard because I have my own things. And then at times people come to you thinking because you've done it, it's mandatory for you to mentor them. So as a mentor, number one, you need the patience. Number two, you need to understand people. When you remember you're dealing with women, it's very hard. Women are the hardest people to deal with. I'm a woman, but I know that.
They would kill me if I say that.
Yeah. So at times, but it's a fun experience for me, seeing like someone coming to me and then after a couple of months, their business grows. It gets me every time. So for me, it's about helping someone else grow.
Okay, Dr. Catherine, for you, what does a healthy mentor to mentee relationship look like?
Like she said, it's about letting them be. You're not forcing yourself on them, but they pick what they can pick. We also have formal training. Like I've mentored so many people, especially within the events and weddings industry. A lot of my students have gone on to do even bigger things with bigger turnovers than even my business. But the thing is to keep that relationship and to let them be, and only it's very different from, in school there's a curriculum where you're delivering this and that. But in terms of a mentorship relationship, they come to you but also sometimes you follow up when you're consciously mentoring people.
Okay.
You follow up. There are people even outside of, maybe even in the media that I mentor, and I don't have media experience. It could be leadership mentorship.
Yeah.
So it's on a need basis, while the formal one, especially for my students, I follow up. Even 10 years after they've graduated, because our first students graduated 2008, and when I see they're doing something that I would go to them and tell them, I saw you did this and this and this, maybe we can do it in this way. And we keep in touch.
Yeah.
I don't sit in an iron tower and wait for them to come to me. I consciously keep that relationship going.
Okay.
Yes.
And since it's raising a very important aspect of how a healthy mentor and mentee sort of relationship looks like, because one of the concerns sometimes people have is things like funding. And it's the most practical of it all. You're the mentor, they tell you, I want to start this business, I don't have the money, how do you navigate that? Or I'm in this relationship, I don't know how to get out, or I want to get into another relationship. How do you now toe the line between what is professional and what is not? Or should it be set from the onset that I'm only mentoring you in terms of business, not personal life, not anything else? Do you draw the line from the onset?
Well, in my situation, we talk about everything and everything. Yes. Of course, there are areas maybe you may not want to be, but if it's affecting their performance,
it's important.
It's important. And then, of course, in issues, one of the healthy things about mentorship is time. Sometimes your mentor or mentee, they don't have time. Yeah, so you don't come and hog my time. Yes. Yeah, that is one thing. But everything is open. I personally have been to so many business schools. I just finished Stanford School of Business. But you have to say that.
How do you do that?
For example, so when you talked about funding, you realize issues of funding, these are issues you study in a lot of business schools, whether somebody's looking for equity, they are looking equity funding, or they're looking for maybe debt financing, but it's not knowledge that is just out there for many people, especially in the creative arts business. So of course we will talk about funding. I may not be funding your business, but I will help you. Do you even need is it money you really need? Or maybe you need some power partners to just push your business. Or maybe you just need someone to open maybe I know a number that I can give you to introduce you. I can open the door. I can help you open. There are things like those. So it's wide.
Lilian, what does a good mentee look like? I love what Dr. Catherine has said, because at the end of the day, as a mentee, a mentor and mentee relationship, a lot of the times it's the mentee who asks, hey, can you mentor me? So what does a good mentee look like? Because Dr. Catherine has said, don't come and hog someone's time. Be conscious of those things. So what does a good mentee look like?
I would say someone who's always ready to help. And first, whatever she said about having the mentor doesn't really have to give you all the time. I think people need to know that mentorship isn't really an 8 to 5 kind of job. I mean, when someone gives you an hour of their time, that's pretty much mentorship, as long as whatever he or she tells you helps you in regards to whatever you're doing. So I would say it's pretty much about a mentor sharing knowledge that helps you grow whatever you're trying to grow. I think that's enough.
And for Rose, do you mentor people based on your life experiences or based on things you've read? Because they always say, ground vitu ni different. You might tell someone to do this and then that doesn't work.
Both.
Yeah.
Both, but mostly from my experience. Yes. So let's say, for example, if you come to me, if someone comes to me and says, Rose, I'm stuck, because it's not every time that I get a makeup artist coming. People running other businesses will come and say, like, on social media, how do you go about it? Someone said I had to close up. Like, how do you deal with that? And then, so yeah. So it doesn't, it's things that I've read and my experience. I mix both.
Yeah. But can you also tell when someone is not cut off for what they want to do? Because you see, there are certain times people would come to you and from the first interaction, you obviously know this is not the direction you should be taking, because you know there are certain standards that needs to be there.
Yeah.
But how do you explain that to people?
So for me, I look out for passion. You can easily tell someone who doesn't have the passion. Maybe they are doing it because they saw someone do it and succeed. So I'm straight with them.
Have you had to say no to certain mentees because of their personality, how they carry themselves?
Usually like after a day or two. Like maybe you tell them, I have an event, come, let me, because at times you have to take them with you. Like for me, I take them to my like my jobs and stuff. And then someone will be like, it's too early, I don't want to wake up. So I just, after that, we're done.
But Dr. What about you, Dr. Have you had to say no to a mentee for one reason or another?
Not really. You have to learn the art of diplomacy, in the sense that sometimes you may, the thing I've learned is that we don't know everything really. So you may say no to somebody and, they end up actually, doing what, you can imagine that. And I've had one experience, a really bad one. So anyway, in my class, I always tell people there are those people who are gonna be, and those people who are wannabe. So it's part of you. Yeah, there are those people who just want to be, but that's all they're gonna be. But there are those people who are actually going to be. You can, in a subtle way, point to them, but really, it's in life. People decide, and they do. You can't like force people to do to do things. Yeah, they have to make the choice to do it themselves.
Okay, we have to take a quick break now.